Okay. Good evening, everybody. I love it when you show your faces. Now I know how Michelle feels. Just real quickly, I just want to say two things, and then I want to hand this over to our guest because I just can't wait for you guys to hear from her. But I was told this morning, I'm not putting this on Facebook yet, but this is a big deal, and I want you guys to know that while we are in Orlando, and for those of you that have not gotten your John Maxwell ticket, please make sure that you do that in the back office. You want to make sure you have your Maxwell ticket. That ticket is an extra $75. While we are in Orlando, they will have the elite tickets on sale like they always do, and they will be on sale for 1 week for $79. And that $79 will include John Maxwell and the science seminar. And that will be for Indianapolis in February. They will only have the $79 price available for 1 week. After that 1 week, the price will double. And again, it will include all three, the training, the science seminar, and your registration. So please be on the lookout for that. If you are not going to Orlando, have your wallet ready to get your ticket because that is a steal. That is such a huge price, and it's amazing to have that ready to go. And for anyone that's not going, you guys, make that your vision right now. February, you will not miss Indianapolis. Whatever you make in LifeVantage from here on out, we'll pay for that plane ticket. We'll pay for your hotel, and you'll be all set and ready to go. So with that, I asked our newest Pro 7 on the Sean and Michelle team, Marisa Harelson, to join us tonight. She just hit Pro 7 last month, and she's become a dear friend of mine, which another reason why we love this business, right? But Marisa inspires me so much, you guys. She is a workhorse. And some of you probably heard about that or the way she works before we even started this recording. But I swear every time I talk to her, she's juggling 50 million plates in one hand. But she just hit Pro 7, and I wanted her to come on and really talk about her story, how she was introduced to LifeVantage, why she said yes, and what she's done to get her to Pro 7. And you're really listen in because you're going to hear about the basics. And she has such a huge heart. She's an amazing trainer. So with that, Marisa, I'm just going to hand it right over to you, hun. Thank you for being on the call.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. And this business really does bring us wonderful friendships. We're family. And Tanya, you've helped me grow so much over the years, getting to know you, and really you helping me believe in myself, because this business is tough sometimes, right? So, and when we all start at ground zero, that's the thing. We all start as little babies in this company, and I had no experience at all. So I would just latch on to people here and there that, and surround myself with people that were successful and happy. That was so important to me. And Tanya, you've been one of those people. Rich and Sarah Scott are wonderful people, and I've gotten to know them, and more Rich, but I'm looking forward to getting to know Sarah even more through beautiful leaders, a group that Michelle and Sean Poe have. So we're all growing, and we're all here to help each other grow and, really be the best versions of ourselves. And, this industry I knew nothing about. And it's really been the funnest industry, the most fulfilling industry. And I think everybody can probably speak to that. And also the most emotional industry, right? It's got its highs and lows. We definitely know that. And, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's really, it helps develop us, helps us grow. If we're not growing, we're dying. Think of how many people just get used to the status quo in their life because that's just the way it is, right? But I did not grow up under an entrepreneurial arm. Our family was not entrepreneurial. So for those that come from that, they already get this. Those entrepreneurs, the successful ones, make up 95% of the world's wealth, but yet they're 5% of the population. And it's not that we get in LifeVantage to be wealthy. We get in LifeVantage, number one, for health, obviously, and to help others. But we also solve the potential, obviously, or we wouldn't all be on this Zoom call tonight. But we saw a potential to have something more, to have something greater than what we had had. And to actually, the vision I got, and I'll tell you how I learned about this in just a second, but when I learned about it and I saw, oh my gosh, if she can do this, I know I can do this. And it wasn't anything against Carrie Williams, but I'm just saying, I just had the vision that here is a wonderful woman who is very much like me, that's doing it. So, and she didn't have any special scientific background, which I don't. So I'm thinking, I can do this too. So what do I need to do? So how I learned about LifeVantage, and a little bit about my story, as an adult, I've been mostly a television news reporter and an anchor, worked in the industry 17 years, really let it go in 2003 when my kids were young, really quit full-time when my daughter was born. But I went back to another station, the ABC affiliate in Phoenix, for a little while to freelance as a weekend anchor while a mom was on maternity leave, another anchor. And when she came back, they had me work part-time. So I still tried to do it, but they suck you in. Then they wanted my Friday nights, and I had these two little babies, and I'm like, no. And I'm a late bloomer. I didn't have kids till late, right? So I was 38 and 41. So you can get an idea how young I am. So anyway, I took the skills that I knew I had from being a television news reporter, and I created my own business, marketing and PR, public relations, video production, and freelance. I freelanced for Home and Garden Network, Food Network, writing, mostly writing. I was more of a writer producer than I was the actually technical person. So I don't have the technical skills, so to speak. But anyway, I was tired, but I kept doing it. And then I started working for a friend of mine who had a wedding magazine. So I was doing a little bit of both and fitting it in the nooks and crannies. This sales job was a little more flexible. But then my mom passed away in 2011, August. It was like she was here one day and gone the day after my daughter's 12th birthday. She's now 18. And it was truly just a shocker, right? So I don't know who has their moms, but my mom was my best friend and talked to her a lot. So it was really devastating for me. And I quit my job, basically. I didn't know that I did, but I took a 3-month absence and I never went back. I just immersed myself in teaching yoga, which I have also been teaching for over 6 years. So I've always loved yoga. Well, not always, but been a student of it for over 10 years, and really felt, just this beautiful connection, mind, body, spirit. And it helped me, this type A personality helps me be a better person, period. So, I overheard the conversation at a yoga studio, a woman named Kay Vergamini that I just found out today has pancreatic cancer. So send prayers for her healing. And she is a 73-year-old yoga instructor she's beautiful. And I overheard her speaking about how great she felt, and her neuropathy had gotten better, and her arthritis, and her skin felt better, and her husband's health had gotten better. And I said, Kay, what are you talking about? And she pointed to Carrie Williams and said, don't ask me, ask her. And she's making... And she told me per month what she was making, and it was equivalent to a starting school teacher's annual salary, most likely. It was about $25,000 at the time. And I thought maybe she was a doctor. So I went up to her, and I knew she was one of my students, but I knew nothing about her. And I said, what do you do, Carrie? What are they talking about? And she said, have you seen the ABC? And I go, no. And she wrote ABC Live It at the time, but we're now using biohackingyourbody.com. And by the way, Team Heart is too. So some of them are, I know they like it. So Rich, commendos to you. So anyway, she gave me the link. It was a Saturday morning, and I went home and I watched it. And then I literally pulled my husband in the house. He was outside doing yard work. You got to watch this, honey. And he watched it. He goes, wow. I go, honey, there's an opportunity here, and I don't know what that means, but I'm going to meet with this girl. And so I called her right away. I said, Carrie, can you meet with me Monday after class, after a 5:30 a.m. class? I think she had to make all these arrangements for kids because she goes to the bus stop with them. I had no idea. And So we met after class, and I knew I was going to be in it. I knew I was going to do this. But she kept saying like superoxide dismutase and blah, blah. I'm like, slow down. What? Revving up the anti-aging enzymes, turning down, regulating. I'm like, slow down. I'm really into this. I just need to understand it. Right. So remember that when people are just learning this for the first time. I knew nothing about oxidative stress. I knew I was into health and wellness, and that was about, what I knew. So learned so much in this business. But anyway, I got really excited. And from the beginning, you all, I saw that this was a way to change our family's life. Now, a little bit about how I grew up. I grew up in Lexington, Kentucky, born in DC, but I grew up in a good home, but my parents argued a lot over money. And there were 5 kids, and I'm the youngest of 5. There still are 5 kids, and I'm the youngest. And there were a lot of arguments in the middle of the night where Mia, my sister, and I, and all of us siblings would get woken up because we could hear my parents like going after it. And my mom's Italian, so, the passion and it just, anyway, a lot of that doesn't leave you. And that, that's kind of a mental abuse that I've had to work through in my life, right? And just kind of get better from that. And this business actually kind of brought it up a little bit. So I kind of thought it was gone, and then it came back. But I kept my eye on the ball. I kept my eye on not can I do this, but how can I do it? So I knew to lock arms with the people that were successful. Carrie Williams, she was right there. And I'm like, you guys, about 10 people under her. Ultimately, I mentioned this on the leadership call today. My sister-in-law had signed up a week before. I didn't know it was LifeVantage. When we found out it was, Carrie said, you've got to sign up under your sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is a drive-by sponsor. Can you believe that? She's got this volume under her, and she doesn't work this business, and she lives 1 mile away from me. She's married to my brother. Patty Connell is her sister-in-law. So Patty Connell is my sister-in-law's sister-in-law. So we're family anyway, and we were meant to be. And I've gotten to know Patty so well because of this business. You'll see Patty, many of you know her. She's a Pro 7 as well, and she's just a ball of dynamite and a sharp businesswoman. So anyway, I locked arms with Patty as well, even though she's in Minnesota. We get so much support from all over. And I just knew she believed in me. And then Carrie's like, are you going to Global Convention? I'm like, Global Convention, what is that? I just signed up on the highest pack we had, at the time. And it was all the money we had. My husband has a good job, so I'm not saying he doesn't, but we have 2 kids. We're older parents, and we're like everybody else. If you're not working, you're not getting paid. It's the linear income, right? You don't work, you don't get paid. So I was on the hamster wheel like everybody else, right? Spending hours for dollars. I saw a way to maybe change our family's life. So I still was doing a little PR at the time, but quickly, therefore, shifted. And it wasn't that my business was big that I could do that. It's just I said to my husband, please let me do this. I see this. Please I'm going to do this. And he saw it. And, he's like, go for it. And it was a sacrifice, right? Well, we'll have to cut back because, on 2 incomes you need today. If you want to provide for your children the way you want to provide for them, it's expensive today. All these activities that we didn't have when we were growing up, right? So, and then college, my daughter's 18, a senior in high school right now, and she's looking at some really big schools, and it's kind of scary, and we're older. So, it's not wanting to live a life on a fixed retired income or being the golden shackles that they talked about at LifeVantage Academy. See, if I hadn't gone to an event, I wouldn't have known to use those words, gold cuff shackles. There were people that were talking about having great jobs in corporate America, from pharmacists to whatever, but they had golden shackles. They were shackled down. They made money, but they had no time freedom. Right? And that, where's the quality of life? So here we have something that's so extraordinarily different that I knew nothing about, but I was ready to learn and ready to be a really good student because I had a burning desire, and that's what you have to have in order to do this business. And you have to know your why, and your mentors have to know your why because they have to remind you of your why when you want to quit. So There are Maria Williams, I have locked arms with. She is a soul sister to me. Maria was the one who knocked on my sister-in-law's door when I thought my sister-in-law was going to do this business with me. And I'm looking at her. She's got a baseball cap on and no makeup, and she's in like scrubs or, just sweats. And I'm thinking, who is this person? And she starts going through the blueprint and telling us everything that we need to start doing. And I start getting a little excited. But let me tell you this funny thing really quick about Carrie Williams and me not signing up under her directly. When she told me to sign up under my sister-in-law, I said, are you sure? I still didn't know what that meant, you guys, because I knew nothing about this industry. And she said, oh gosh, no, you got to keep it in the family. I'm like, okay. And by the way, my cousin, a chiropractor in Tucson 3 months prior, tried to share this with me, but he didn't do it right either. And that would have been a whole nother leg. Okay. So 3 times, but I didn't know it was LifeVantage until the 3rd time. So I didn't even know it was the product Protandem until the 3rd time. So obviously God wanted me to know about this, right? So anyway, I signed up under my sister-in-law, and then my sister-in-law gets me on the phone with Michelle Poe. And I then said to Carrie, I call Carrie, I go, oh my gosh, I just spoke to this beautiful woman named Michelle Poe. She's lovely. She goes, Michelle Poe, I'm going to her house tomorrow to do some trainings. She's on my team. I said, what? So I ended up being on Carrie's team anyway. What are the chances of that with all these elites in Arizona? What were the chances of that? So to me, that was another sign this was divine intervention. I mean, come on. So there are all these wonderful signs. They have helped me, even though I'm 9 and 10 levels deep. I don't think they get paid on me. It doesn't matter. Look what we have our hands on. So my story is lengthy, but I think it's valuable for somebody who knew nothing about this industry. I don't miss events. The importance of, I became a student. I got also ridiculed by a lot of people. I'm sure all of you all have too. People questioning you, right, Holly? Did you just raise your hand? Or I didn't know if you raised your hand or if it just hand went up. But, we've all had people think we're crazy doing this business. And I don't care. I cared a long time ago, but I don't really care anymore. And going to these events do teach you how to have thicker skin. And I heard it at another LifeVantage Academy, which was called Premier School at the time. You have to have skin thicker than wet toilet paper. I think that was Colt Elam that actually said that. So, it's not that you have to be a tough ass. It's not like that. It's that you have to get tough in your heart and tough in your belief. And you're only going to do that by really plugging in and locking arms and taking daily action and connecting with your sponsors. I can't tell you how many people on my team I don't hear from, and is it my job to call them? No, it's not. It's really their job. I would bug Maria to death. I mean, she's like wearing me out, but I would much rather have that than somebody not doing that at all, right? So I love this journey. I reached Pro 3, Pro 4 pretty quick, not like super quick, not like in months like a lot of people have. But, for me, I thought it was good. I think I hit Pro 4 within a year, Pro 5 a year later. And, stayed Pro 6. I actually looked at it and, oh gosh, Kathy Enking wants me to send the link. Can you send it to her? Thanks. I just got it. So anyway, Pro 6, I was Pro 6 for, I think 3 years, guys. And it's a big jump. And whatever growth I needed to go through, I remember what Carrie Dickey always said, you'll never be bigger than your business is ready for you to be. And I needed to really learn how to have a grateful heart, an open heart, and not be so reactive, because I can be reactive. And so that's been a real growth thing for me, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on being a better listener. I'm very good now about asking questions. I'm also a very passionate person, so sometimes my passion would come across rather strong. And so I've had to I'm not going to get rid of my passion. I'm half Italian. So, it's part of who I am. But I just have to really, really ask a lot of questions. And I think if you ask a lot of questions from people, you get a lot of different information, and that will allow you to actually be able to navigate that conversation in how you can help people. So I just, I took massive action. I think that's a huge thing, how I became Elite Pro 7. Hi, Kathy. I took, massive action. I plugged into the system. I listened to the calls. Even if I couldn't listen live, I would always listen when I could. I like write that day, because if you don't, they just get lost. And I would participate on the calls. I put myself out there. I'm happy to share something with you. And so taking those steps of uncomfortability, whatever that is, being uncomfortable, is also a step in helping you grow into being a better leader. And then just helping your team do the same thing, and helping your team believe in themselves, because we all start out, as I mentioned, at the baby level, especially if we haven't done this before. And most people in LifeVantage haven't. And those who have, great, they've got the experience to help them get ahead a little bit more, and their journey might be a little smoother, but they had to start somewhere too. So they went through the same things that we're going through now. But I can tell you, whatever it is you want to be in LifeVantage, if it is an elite distributor, if it is a Pro 7 salary, you have to go to events. You have to go to weekly presentations. And it's a minimum. I can see it now. There was a time I was only going one time a week. Okay. And then now there's 2 times a week usually. And it can be a Zoom now. You don't have to be away. Zoom is amazing. I have to get better at actually doing Zoom calls for my team, for an opportunity meeting. That's something I'm looking forward to stepping up. But I'm going to, Wednesday's my 19th anniversary, but my team is having a meeting. And while I was going to help do that, I'm actually not going to on Wednesday. I'm going to go out with my husband. But Thursday, I'll go up to Prescott, Arizona, and it's a 2-hour drive. And then I have to come back that night, because we're leaving early Friday morning for Tucson, my family, because my husband's family is being honored at the U of A School of Journalism department. So we have a big event there this weekend, and his brother's flying in, and his wife and their kids. So, there's some sacrifices, and there's, short-term instability for long-term stability. Carrie Williams right now is going to 3 meetings a week. She just sent me her week's itinerary of weekly meetings that are happening this week. And there's something every single night. And so she doesn't have to do that, by the way, but that's Carrie. She does do that, and she will be Pro 10 soon. So getting back to events, we have one around the corner, right? And I hope every one of you are able to go to that, because it's life-changing. It's the best spiritual growth, mental, emotional, belief growth, everything, heartfelt growth, friendship, belief in this business and what we have. It's all there. It's like, why wouldn't you go? It's not a drag. It's not a rah-rah party. And you all know that if you've been going to these events and you're on this call, or if you're new and you've never been to an event, oh my gosh, it's going to change your life. So I got in LifeVantage in March of 2012, March 28th of 2012, without ever going to a home meeting, just watching the ABC. And Carrie's like, after I signed up, she said, well, you're coming to our global convention in 2 weeks, aren't you? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to be able to afford to do this. I'm not kidding you. And because I had put this on our credit card. We didn't have the cash flow at the time. And she said, Marisa, it really will give you a vision of what all this is. And it's going to grow your business 6 to 9 months ahead of time. And now we got some new statistics, and Tanya, you might help me out with that. I don't know if I remember, but I think it's like 18 times more enrollments if you go to an event, and your business will grow 4 times faster than if you don't go to an event. I think that's right. They're going to give us those statistics at Elite Academy, but there's some extraordinary things happening. I keep thinking every Elite Academy or global convention is better than is the best I've ever been to. And they just compound on each other. They're all fat, and they fill you up in ways that it's intranscribable. I don't know if I'm just making up that word, but it's, you can't transcribe what you experience there. But I went to Global Convention, and I mentioned on the call today, I think I called my husband 10 times that day saying, I can't even believe what I'm a part of. I can't even believe this is real, that there is something out there that is so much bigger than what I have been a part of in my life, that like really is helping people from a health standpoint that nothing in the world is doing, scientifically proven, and is the most deadliest thing we have. That, I mean, it's what causes our diseases, and here we have something that's helping reduce that. So that was a no-brainer. And then just to see that, oh my gosh, there's this opportunity. And, I thought maybe we'd be reaching critical mass pretty soon when I got involved. But you know what? It takes time to build a foundation when you're going to be $1 billion company. It takes time. So just keep riding this, getting on that surfboard and bringing people on board with you, and talking about these events that, when you sign somebody up, to see the big picture. I signed someone up today that doesn't see this yet as far as being able to, she sees it, but she can't come, next week. And she's got a full-time job and she's single and she's just not able to do that. But my goodness, I met her in Rocky Point, Mexico last week. Her condo and our condo patios, we could see each other, and her dad and her mom. And her mom, I could see, was suffering from dementia. And the dad would walk her down to the beach and put her under the tent, and she'd just sit there. And I never said anything. I know I'm going off on tangents, but everything just kind of rolls into it. We're just telling one big story, and then Tanya, you can cut me off whenever. But so just how this happened is the dad, Dan, we exchanged pleasantries over the week. He gave me some charcoal for the grill. I gave them strawberries and croissants, things like that. Really nice people. At one point I said, I got to go. I'm actually going to be on a Zoom call with the CEO of this company that I'm a part of. She's like, oh, what is it? I said, well, it's in nutrigenomics, kind of nutrition for your genes. And then I left. And so I never said anything the entire week. That was a Monday. I left on a Friday, and Dan was fishing in the water up to his knees. And the truck was packed, and I couldn't leave without going back down to the water and saying something to him, because I knew I had a moral obligation. I had no attachment to the result. And that's the biggest thing, is to have no attachment. It's not even just go for no. It's just not being attached and sharing information. So I went down and I said, Dan, I am part of something that's extraordinary that I know can help your wife. And I've been watching you guys this week, and this company that I'm a part of, it's publicly traded, and it's bringing a natural breakthrough product that's helping our cells be healthier and age less. I just want to bring it down, not get into oxidative stress too much right then, because then I think I said, do you know what that is? He didn't. And so I just said, it's the aging of our cells, the rusting caused by everything in life. He goes, oh yeah, I've been trying to find some natural things for her, and blah, blah. And I said, well, would it be okay if I send it? Please. I go, it's an ABC investigative report actually on this. It might, if you have any questions after that, we can talk. And he's like, please give me the information. So I got his email, I got his phone number. And as I'm leaving, his daughter, who's about 60, is sitting under the tent. And she says, oh, are you into homeopathic medicine? I was like, well, so we start talking, and I told her a little bit, and she's like, oh my gosh, I need to know about this, because I've just been creating a supplemental, a budget for my supplements. I'm changing my gut. So she started talking probiotic, and I'm like, okay, we have to get together. So I got her information. And in that conversation, I told her that I was going to be at a training. She said she was going to come. That was LVA. Because she said, I've done network marketing. I get it. And she said, I'm interested in the business too. And I didn't say too much of anything, but I just said, this has been a beautiful business for me. And I just hit a really awesome rank. And that's why, I was on the Zoom call with the CEO. So my posture was strong. It was confident. And that's part of the growth too. So we connected, and she actually got tied up at work on Saturday morning. She went in early at 6 a.m. to work a couple hours and she couldn't make it. So she did email me. Her phone was gone, by the way. Her wallet had been stolen before she got to Rocky Point. And so anyway, so we were communicating via email, and that seems so like snail mail now. So anyway, that's how we communicated. And she goes, but I'll come to the 2 p.m. Presentation Dr. Brett Brimhall was doing at 2 p.m. right after LVA. So it was a long day, but I had a guest coming, so I was going. So she met me there, and one of my new distributors came with me. So it was good training for her. And she tried to sign up with the Platinum that night. And she said, I'm going to be slower on this. So she let me know where she's at, and that's fine. I don't want to push her because I'll push her away. I have to meet her where she's at. So I did mention there was an academy, and, she said, there's no way I can go, but I mentioned February. She said, I'll go to that one. So, you just have to meet people where they're at. You have to plant the seeds and just love on people. So we actually got her signed up tonight because of the credit card issue with the bank and the fraud. It wasn't going through yesterday. So it finally went through, and she's excited, and she's on an auto ship. So that's even good. And I'm supposed to connect with her tonight. So I said, could I do that after dinner? So anyway, just go for it, guys. Keep going. If you don't quit, this will work. And I'm here to help you too. Any way that I can help you, for just mentorship, but you've got incredible mentors on your team, but we're all here to help. And I look forward to meeting every one of you at Elite Academy. So Tanya, anything else you want me to say?
Just one more quick thing, because we are half hour past, but Marisa, you and I both know, like, this is super hard. And what is it that has kept you going? Like, what makes you still plug in and work at the rate that you're working and sharing with everyone that you meet?
It's my children. It's really, it's my kids and my husband, and being able to provide a life that's going to be good for us, that we're not going to be, scared later on in life. And I don't think we would be anyway, but we would be on the fixed retired income, and I don't like that. I want my children not to spoil them, but I want them to be able to have opportunities that I did not have when I was a child, and to travel and get educated by the world that way, and to, help them start a life without student loan debt. I think we get caught up in this racket where we get student loan debt from college, and then we have to get this job that helps pay for the student loans. And then we start making a little more money. So we go, oh, we're going to buy this nice car. And then we marry somebody maybe, and we buy a house. And then we're trapped. And we are now, and I'm not saying working for corporate America is a bad thing, because it's a great thing for a lot of people. It's wonderful. But, and my husband has great benefits. I mean, corporate America has worked really well for us, but there's a cap, right? So when I saw there was no cap, this is what kept me going. When I saw I could leave a legacy for my children instead of a debt, that also kept me going. And then when I saw I could give back in ways that's not just time for philanthropy, but that I can actually, write a check for a cause. And also just now, I can't, because I keep growing in this business, and my children are seeing that we're achieving our dreams, that they can achieve their dreams, that as long as you work hard and you keep going and you fail, that's okay. You just get back up and you keep going. So they're seeing how to be successful. So I like that too. And also going to an event, our old CEO, I'll never forget, it was my first global convention, my first convention ever. And he said, you know, it's so great to see all of you new people stand up. So all the new people stood up, and there were tons. And he said, it's so nice to see this many people. And unfortunately, half of you or most of you will not be here this time next year. Mm-hmm. And that kind of scared me. And I went, well, wait a minute, because I signed up. Man, when I saw this, I'm like, I'm not going to quit. So that was another thing. I just don't, I'm not going to quit. And this is something I've been able to achieve in my life that has been hard, but it keeps getting better. When I worked in TV news, there was a cap on our income. And there were times you'd get a 1% raise maybe, or a 3%. And you know what I got from Fox 10 one Christmas? Our Christmas party was in the garage of the TV station. And we each got an X-Files videotape. Movie, whatever, the show, the X-Files. I mean, come on. So, you know, I've got to go to Cancun. That's another thing. Oh my gosh, I went on this elite retreat. I mean, not elite retreat. Oh, that sounds good. I'm going on an elite retreat. So that's another thing. Visualize what you want. Write it down. My mirror has a ton of stuff written on it in the bathroom. And it has Pro 7 by September 2015 I'd probably put it in 2015 too. I've changed it a few times. But when I really saw, you guys, that this was going to happen, I knew I had to do it by September. I couldn't do it by October. I really wanted to have it. I wanted to have that sigh of relief. And boy, it happened. It happened on an auto ship date. And that's what was extraordinary. Mm. So, you know, write down what you want, say it out loud. That's important. And I've been listening to a lot of YouTube videos. Like I'll call up different people that inspire me, that law of attraction stuff, even Esther Hicks. I know it's kind of far out, but I like it. I like, you know, Deepak Chopra. I like Bob Proctor, you know, John C. Maxwell. I mean, lots of people, Tony Robbins, of course, but, you know, things that, what do I need to learn today? Okay, I want to meditate about abundance, or I want to meditate about leadership, or I want to meditate about confidence. You can write all those in YouTube search and you get something, and lay in your bed with your earphones on before you get out of bed. So you're setting your intention for the day. That's helped me quite a bit. Seriously, that's helped me quite a bit. So, I guess that's it. So
that's it. That's all she's got. That was so good. Thank you so much, Marisa. I love how you included so many lessons along the way. It was fun to hear your invite to the person that you met on vacation, and the things that you do on a daily basis to keep you working and keep you going with this. And I love how you said it's been hard, but it keeps getting better. That's so stinking true, because the minute we think it's too hard and then we stop working it and we allow ourselves to get sidetracked, then we're holding ourselves back from the better that is yet to come, right? Exactly. And I don't know about you, Marisa, but I know you'll feel this, like hitting Pro 7, it's almost as if you feel like you're really, truly just getting started, because now you really know who you are, and you have complete confidence in who you are because of what you've gone through to get there. And now it's like, now the me that I am, everyone needs to know that they can go through that same process. So
it's like, I feel like I'm a freshman in college, really.
Yes.
Pro 7. Yeah. And, you know, each level is a step bigger. And, you know, the Pro 10s are your doctorates, right? Your PhD. Yeah. So, you know, I feel like I'm just getting started. I'm really just developing into that leader that can help my team even more. And we're all growing ourselves. Trust me, there's times I doubt myself. Even now, you know, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing when there's conflict, you know, without getting all, you know, because you're dealing with a lot of different personalities here, right? Mm-hmm. So it's definitely, and I'm not a manager, but you guys keep your invite radar high. My husband said to me, you know, I was like, I do invite people a lot. I think I'm pretty strong with that. And it's because I keep my radar invite high, or my invite radar high. And I listen for opportunities along the way, and what coincidences are going on in people's lives and how I can help them. And just, that's it. You're just putting it out there. You're fishing, you're throwing a rod out there, and maybe somebody bites it. And it's got to be an authentic, from your heart way. Like this man, Dan, I literally, just wanted them to know about the products, right? And so his daughter now has already shared that with him, and she goes, "Do you mind if he's under me?" I'm like, "No, he's your dad." So, we just have something extraordinary. There's nothing in the world like this.
Right.
We're so blessed to know about this. So start sharing it a lot more with people. A smile, have a high posture. That's important. You have to, people are looking to follow you. They want to follow somebody that can show them the way. And I think
it's beautiful, you guys, like she said, I mean, to get the, whatever movie it was, to get a DVD at the Christmas party, right? What a joke. And my mom, I think of my mom, she's been working for the same hospital for decades, and she gets a watch or a pin or whatever it may be. And, Marisa's 5 years into this, and she's getting trips that are completely paid for. Like, what this can provide for you in your life, you cannot get anywhere else. So yes, it's worth the struggle. And the greatest gift you get from the struggle is who you become in the process. It's the greatest thing. And I remember once I was having a tough time, and Sean said to me, he's like, "You're good." He goes, "But be the best." And that I'll never forget that. Like, be the best. And by being the best, it means every time you hit a wall or you hit struggles, they're there for a reason, you guys. And what you make of them determines if you'll be the best or not. It's just the way it is.
Tanya, I can remember feeling really low and talking to you, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, you just healed me.
Oh.
You just got this kind heart, and I would follow her anywhere. I would follow her anywhere. That's the kind
of the check tomorrow. Thanks for ending on that note.
That's the kind of leader that I'm aspiring to be. And I've got some work to do still. And I want my team to be on these trips with me. I don't want to be on these trips without my family and my team. Right. I mean, that's the hard part. So I know if I'm doing it, and if, like Kathy's taking those actions every day, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I can't imagine, I can't imagine. I can't wait till we're doing that together.
Yes.
And, just having extraordinary lives. This company offers an extraordinary way of living.
This is just the beginning. I mean, all of us right now where we're sitting, we get to have in 2 to 3 years, 2 to 5 years, whatever it may be, that moment of looking back and going, remember when there were only 12 of us on a Zoom? You know what I mean? Remember when we only had 12 products? Like, that is going to happen.
Exactly.
That is going to happen. You have to believe it, because momentum starts with each and every one of us. So stay plugged in like Marisa has, and you'll get there. Just don't quit. So Marisa, I thank you so much for your time tonight. Get back to your pasta and unplug and enjoy your evening. You're just a rock star. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you all. Thanks for being on. I'll see you at Elite Academy. Come up and say hi to me or whatever, okay? All right. Love you all.
Good night, everybody. Love you guys. Bye.